My name is Gordon McCrory from Kaizen Active, and in this video I'm going to show you why weight loss attempts fail, and almost certainly why any past weight loss attempts you've been having have failed. Before I tell you about that, I want to tell you just a little bit about me and perhaps why you should listen to what I've got to say. As you can see, I used to be chubby, would be kind of putting it mildly. I used to be kind of clinically obese. I'm not very tall. I'm 5'5". I had a 40-inch waist. I had drawstring trousers, and I wasn't overly happy. I had a bunch of health stuff going on as well back then. So what I decided to do, because it got to the point for me that enough was enough, I ended up kind of quitting my job. I went to college, then I went to uni, and I studied exercise and health science. I saw the impact that kind of being overweight had on me and had on my kind of mental health, physical health. I just felt pretty miserable. I'd started to lose weight. I was fascinated by it, and I went to college and then uni, and basically studied it kind of all the time. So I'm our company's science geek. It's not that we don't have other kind of people in the company that are geeky, but when it comes to all things diet, nutrition, mindset, willpower, I'm basically kind of getting up in the morning and listening to podcasts. I'm reading about it. I do it all the time. I've been studying for over 10 years, and I set up Kaizen Active with David Thompson, I think kind of 5.5 years ago now. We've been helping people get fit, lose weight, feel great kind of over that period. We've had loads of success stories, and actually we've had a kind of few failures too, because that's normal. And we've been studying kind of what works and what doesn't. One of the things we found is that a lot about weight loss is all in the head, so we studied neuro-linguistic programming as a mechanism for kind of, or as a tool for being an awesome coach, so that we can help people kind of get breakthroughs, if you like. And throughout the course of our work, then we study what works and what doesn't. And different to what you've got, we have got hundreds of people and their experience to kind of go on, as opposed to for most people they've only got their own experience and maybe kind of some opinions of their friends. So we've got a whole vast amount of experience here, and yeah, we use that to help our clients get fit, lose weight, feel great, and make winning easy. Enough about me. Let's get back to kind of the presentation about kind of why weight loss attempts fail. And here is probably one of the biggest things that kind of cause it to fail. This statement, I want to lose a stone in a month, we hear a lot, kind of maybe not all the time, but it's to do with realistic versus unrealistic. People have they've got huge expectations about how much weight they want to get off in such a short space of time, and that can be a real problem. It feels, when you're trying to do that, I reckon that it feels like this. When you're trying to lose a vast amount of weight in a very short space of time, loads of things will need to change, and I'm going to show you what they are in a moment. But I don't think that it should feel like this. I don't think it should feel like we're kind of pushing a boulder up a hill. So instead of asking the question kind of how much weight is it possible for me to lose, I think you want to start thinking, how much weight is it realistic for me to use? It's almost a shift in your mindset. Instead of what's absolutely possible, because sure, some people technically can lose a stone in a month, and I'll show you in a little bit whether that could be you or not. But for many, many people, a stone is simply too much. So let's dig in and see what it would take to lose that kind of weight. So a pound of weight loss is a 3,500 calorie deficit. So in a day, that would be a 500 calorie deficit a day. Over kind of a stone, if you like, so 14 pounds is a 49,000 calorie deficit. And of course, you can achieve the calorie deficit from calorie restriction, in essence being on a diet, exercise, or a combination of both. So I want to look at exercise and see how effective exercise in isolation is for weight loss, because if you've ever tried just to kind of, if you like, out exercise a bad diet, you're going to know that that doesn't work overly well. But let's just look at some of the numbers and reasons why. So, an average female walking for an hour might burn 350 calories. So would need to walk for 10 hours to burn 1 pound. And nobody's got that kind of time, especially not if you're trying to lose a stone in a month. Classes like Body Pump are probably similar in terms of the calorie burn, potentially a little bit lower. Body Attack, Body Combat, spin circuit training will burn more, somewhere in the region of 450 to 600 calories. It depends, of course, on the size of the person, and these numbers I'm basing on a kind of average size female, if you like. So what that would mean is in Body Attack, Body Combat, spin circuit training, 80 to 100 hours to burn 1 stone if you're just exercising. Running for an hour can burn about 700 calories in an hour. So to lose your stone, 70 hours of running. It's not sounding very good. Exercise is important, don't give up on me here. But you can't just exercise to do it. And of course, all these figures are assuming, incorrectly, that there's no increase in appetite when you exercise. And of course, you will have an increase in appetite almost always. And beyond that, you'll probably also think, oh, well, I deserve a little bit of a treat. So food consumption often goes up when you exercise. So the question to ask is, from exercise alone, could you do this in just 1 month? And for me, the answer is no. But it's not to say don't lose a stone. It's just like we think you need to sometimes think about extending the timeline, because exercise alone is not going to achieve brilliant weight loss. So if exercise alone won't achieve brilliant weight loss, what about diet? What about kind of changing your nutrition? Well, to lose a stone in a month, you're going to need to change a lot, chances are. So you're going to need to completely change your habits. You're going to need to massively restrict your calorie intake, and you should be thinking about how that's going to make you feel. You're going to need to follow a diet. You're going to need to eat differently to the people around you. You're going to need to avoid nights out. There's going to be no more treats. You're going to have to drink more water and be running to the toilet all the time. You're going to have to eat more vegetables. You're going to have to learn to cook new meals. You're probably going to have to avoid workplace treats. If you're an emotional eater, well, you're just going to need to stop that regardless. You're going to need to eat more fruit, avoid meals out, avoid alcohol, avoid takeaways, and you're going to have to prepare food at the weekend. So think about that. Can you do all of that for a full month? I think it's a bit like this. I think that what people set themselves up to do is to chase. It feels like chasing a whole load of rabbits. You're never going to catch them all. It's never going to happen. There's just too much. And if you're trying to do too much, I guarantee that you're going to get overwhelmed. So instead of chasing all the rabbits, a much better strategy to consider is to chase just one rabbit. Do one thing really well, but make that thing strategic. And what I mean by that is pick the thing that's going to make the biggest difference for your results. Because if you're like anyone that we've ever worked with, then they're impatient. They want the results as quickly as possible. So you've got to pick the biggest thing. And if you don't know what that biggest thing is, then it's going to be different for everyone, but you can kind of definitely ask. So we'll come back to that anyway. I'm just going to kind of move on a little bit. So factors to consider in terms of how much weight you could lose. So I've got a couple of examples here. I've got someone that's 10 stone 7, and the amount of calories that they burn on a day-to-day basis varies based on their activity levels. So dependent on your activity levels, you're going to burn a certain amount of calories. So if you're sedentary and you're 10 stone 7, then you're likely to burn somewhere in the region of just short of 1,500 calories. And if you want to lose a stone, well, let's take that slightly differently. If you want to lose a pound, you need to drop that daily calorie from 1,470 to 970 just to lose a pound. And now you're eating less than 1,000 calories. So you can see that for someone that's small, or relatively small, then it's difficult nigh impossible to lose a stone in a month. Someone a little bit bigger, instead of being 10.7, 13.7, well, their baseline is nearer 2,000 if they're sedentary. And I think for most people, they may well be kind of lightly active as a minimum. So say 2,000 calories. This person could cut 500, 800 calories out of their daily intake. It's going to feel hard, but they could obviously lose more weight. So the lesson here is a bigger person with more weight to lose can lose weight faster. Makes common sense. But a smaller person is going to find it difficult. And I think that getting back to it, you should be thinking, what's realistic for me? I would almost flip how much weight can I lose quickly as a question in a month, for example, and almost think of it the other way around, and think, how many calories can I eat on a day-to-day basis and feel really good? Because if you don't feel really good, I guarantee you that before long, you're not going to be following your particular diet anyway. So you need to almost think, how many calories can I eat on a day-to-day basis and feel great? Because when you feel great, you're going to lose weight. But when you feel badly, you're going to put weight on. That's just what's going to happen with behaviours. So in terms of going back to just the whole reason why you want to lose weight, sometimes we lose track of this, but it's really important and it's relevant for then what your strategy for weight loss is. You want to lose weight so you can feel better about yourself. You want to lose weight so you've got more energy. You normally want to lose weight so you get more confidence, and really it's all about being the best version of you, feeling great and being in great shape. So if you go on a ridiculous calorie restricted diet where you're hardly eating anything, how are you going to feel? You're not going to have more energy. You're going to feel pretty low. That doesn't kind of equate to more confidence. So almost the journey along the way is not stacking up. The reason you're wanting to lose weight is because you feel bad, and if you choose a tactic or a strategy or an approach that's going to make you feel worse, it's going to fail. It's not to say you shouldn't aim to lose a stone, it's just that you maybe need to think about extending the timeline. So with that in mind, I want to show you that we can see what's realistic, and see what's unrealistic, and I'm just going to work through two very quick examples. So what's unrealistic? What I've got here is I've got a person that is looking, let me have a look and see. So their baseline calories, just to stay the same. So this person could be about 13.5 stone in this example, or maybe a little bit lighter but a bit more active, and it's a female. Just to say the same, we've calculated that they need 2,000 calories a day. And they've come to me and said, I want to lose a stone, 14 pounds in 30 days. So I've ran the numbers, because there's equations for all of this. Science geeks do that kind of thing. And worked out that the daily calories that they need to eat to lose a stone in a month is 367 calories. You can't survive on that. It's just not realistic at all. Realistically, in my experience, many women, and these numbers are kind of are female related, like many women are okay in and around the 1,200 calories a day mark. They can cope with sometimes 1,000, but that would be a kind of smaller woman. But 1,200 a day is a pretty good kind of number to aim for. Again, we're not huge fans of counting calories, but I think that it makes sense to just know kind of whether this is a thing that can be done or not, whether you can lose that kind of weight or not. So this person could lose, I think, relatively comfortably 7 pounds in a month without exercise, and if they did exercise, then they could do more. They could lose more. So instead of the 7, they might be nearer kind of the 9 or the 10. But they certainly can't lose a stone. So it's unrealistic for someone that's smaller to lose a stone. So if it's unrealistic, what is realistic? And this is essentially just what I've said. So 2,000 calories, 6 or 7 pounds, 1,200, 1,300, 12 or 1,300 calories kind of intake a day, and you'll lose your half stone minimum. and you'll feel a lot better doing it. Going back to the things that we were talking about, your life is going to be, not your life, how you feel, if you like, is you're going to have energy. You're going to see the weight coming off. Your mood's going to be good. You're going to know that you're kind of actually achieving. It'll be slow and steady. It might feel slow and steady, but it didn't go on quickly. So I think it's almost about having a realistic, it's not almost about, it's absolutely about having a realistic expectation of what you can do. If you set unrealistic goals, you're just going to fail. Another huge thing to consider with any approach, particularly if it's going to be for sustained weight loss, is where's the fun? Remember again, if you're trying to lose weight, the chances are it's because you're not happy. If we take the fun out of your life and whatever the plan is, then you're not going to want to stick to it. You already weren't happy to start with. If we take more fun out, you're going to be less happy. We actually need to put fun in. We need to find things that you enjoy doing, and in this example, exercise that you enjoy doing can help, but we can't take out all your meals out, and we can't take out the kind of socializing with your friends. That's just not going to feel good for you. So you've got to consider in any plan going forward, where's the fun? And if you don't do that, and many people have got kind of these plans that say, well, I want to lose X amount and over Y amount of days, it forces them to take the fun out, and that's why they fall off the wagon. Understand you need fun in your life. You can't avoid your friends, you can't avoid your family, so make the plan kind of realistic and make the plan fun. So hopefully you've got from that kind of you need to ask a better question. Most people ask how much weight is it possible to lose in however many days. But I think the question that you really want to start asking is, how much weight can I realistically lose in however many days and feel great? Because you don't lose weight to feel great. You feel great and then you lose weight. For most people, they've got the model upside down. They're putting on weight actually because they feel bad. So when we get them to start feeling good again, then that's when weight loss happens. That's when their mood goes up. That's when their confidence improves. That's when their self-belief improves. So we've got to get you feeling good or great. And I guess the last thing to consider is almost how much change can you cope with in your life right now? Remember back to the slide with the rabbits or the slide with the changes to the diet and how many different things? Realistically, if you're stressed out, how many of those things can you cope with and for how long? It's much, much, much better to pick the strategic ones, pick the things that are going to make the biggest difference. And that's why we're here, to ask us, given my circumstances, what thing or things should I focus on first? So I'd encourage a fresh approach. Instead of focusing on just the end goal, you have to also focus on the journey. Anyone that's tried diets knows that the drastic changes are short-lived, and as are their results. You're going to put the weight back on and more. So be more realistic, but don't dream smaller. Don't probably dream bigger, but give yourself enough time to get it done and for it to be fun whilst you're doing it. And it's okay to have a bit of discipline in there, of course, but just give yourself, and make it challenging by all means, but it has to be realistic. If you fail again and again and again, how does that make you feel about yourself? And what does that do to your chance of future success? We know that failure destroys self-belief, and belief's really important in you achieving whatever you want. Don't set yourself up to fail. It's not necessary. Don't do the same thing again and again and again and again if it doesn't work for you, even if it worked for one of your friends. Unless it helps you lose weight and keep it off, it's not right for you. So get some great advice if you need some help. Lifestyle change is in essence what you're really looking at here. All those things on the kind of exercise slides, on the diet slides, they just relate to changes in your life. You already know that there are things in your life that are holding you back. Pick the biggest one and kind of focus on that. And by doing that, you'll massively improve the success that you get. You'll massively improve how good you feel about yourself. And kind of, I guess, one final thing is make sure that you're putting fun into this plan along the way, because no fun is going to mean that you're just going to kind of fall off it and just think, what's the point? So I hope that's been useful. And apologies if I've rabbited on for kind of absolutely ages, as is sometimes my want. If you need more information, you can get us at kind of info@kaizenactive.co.uk. Our website's got a whole lot of great resources. We've got a SoundCloud account. We've got a Facebook page. As you can see, it's facebook.com/KaizenActive. We've got a YouTube channel too. So we've got loads of great information. If there is anything we can help you with, then we would love to. So don't hesitate to get in touch. I hope you have a great day. Take care.